So next, how will you find out the reactionary forces when one of the support is inclined? Okay, so previously what we have seen, whenever it is a revolute joint, then in the plane 2D, whenever you have the revolute joint, then how many reactionary forces are there at that point? There is a horizontal force and a vertical force. A reactioner at a point, some whatever it is a Ry, and this is the Rx. Okay, whenever you have the revolute joint which is fixed to the earth here, but whereas whenever you have a roller support, okay, these are the roller support, whenever you have roller support and this is the earth, then how many reactionary forces that you have? Only one reactionary force, and that is a vertically upward. So here Ry, and what's about the Rx here? Rx will become 0. Rx will become 0. Why? Because there is no constraint in the horizontal direction. Whenever you apply some force on this, then it is free to move in the horizontal direction, but whereas it cannot go in the vertical direction. Okay, so in the previous case we have seen, like whenever you have both supports horizontal, when both the supports are horizontal, for example the same problem I will take here. So when both the supports are horizontal, that means here this is the fixed one, and here we have the roller, and the roller support also horizontal here like this. Okay, so this is the point A, B, and then C, and here this is the point D where I applied force P here. Because of the applied force P, what are the reactionary forces at the supports? Here at the point C, the reactionary force is Rc, which is in the vertical direction, so Rcy. But whereas here the forces in at the point A is Ray in the vertical direction and Rax. Okay, there are two reactionary forces, and how will you find out the reactionary forces at this position? The reactionary forces at this position can be found out by using the sigma Fx equal to 0 and sigma Fy equal to 0, and another one is sigma m at either point A equal to, or sigma m at point C equal to 0. And this sigma ma equal to sigma mc, this is valid at any junction. Why? Because all these junctions are connected with the revolute joint, but since we have the reactionary forces only at the junction A and C, that is why we generally use this one. Okay, when I apply at A, then what happen? All these two reactionary forces are passing through the point A, so that the moment produced because of these two reactionary forces is 0, and there is only one moment because of this force here. In the same way, there is a moment produced because of the point P at point A. Okay, so how to calculate when it is an inclined plane? Actually, when it is inclined plane, the procedure is the same, but here we need to learn some technique, so that in the examination it will become very easier. What is that technique? The technique is here. For example, see, the height is 1 meter and the dimensions are given here. This is the point here. This is 1 meter, and here also 1 meter. And at point C, P amount of force is applied here. Okay, then I want to find out how much tensions are produced in each bar here. Okay, how will you find out that? To find out that, first of all you need to find out the here reactionary forces. Why? Because if I cut like this, I need to have a reactionary forces. Even if I cut like this by using the section method, then I need to know the reactionary forces at D. Okay, so it's better first you need to find out the reactionary forces. So how will you find out the reactionary forces? So here, whenever you have the revolute joint which is fixed, then you have the Ray and Rax here. And what's about the reactionary force at D? The reactionary force is at D is nothing but the normal reaction. Whenever I talk about the normal reaction, how is the normal reaction? How will you identify the normal reaction? The direction. Always the direction of the normal reaction is perpendicular to the surface. Okay, so this is the inclined plane and this is perpendicular to the surface. This is the reactionary force RD. Okay, how this reactionary force RD is depends on the angle theta, whether it is along the BD or inclined to the BD, it is depending on the theta value here. Okay, so RD is like this. So here these two are, one is horizontal, one is vertical, but whereas this is inclined, so immediately I will convert this into the horizontal and as well as the vertical component. This is the vertical component and this is the horizontal component. So this is the RDX and this is the RDY here, that is the vertical component. Okay, that means at this point D, these are the reactionary forces that are acting here. Understood? So if I redraw this, what happens? For example, if I draw the diagram again here, okay, this is the diagram, and here at point A, this is the RAY and this is the RAX, and here this is the P, and here again this is the RDY, and then this is the RDX. This is 1 meter, 1 meter, and of course the height also 1 meter. Okay, this is the point A, B, C, and then this is the point D here. Now I want to find out all these four unknown reactionary components. Okay, how will you find out? First I will apply, see, first of all, sigma F y equal to 0. So from this I can write RAY plus RDY equal to P. Okay, and sigma Fx equal to 0. So from this I can write RAX minus RDX equal to 0. That means the horizontal components at the A is equal to the horizontal component at the D here. Okay, and again I will apply the moment at A. So sigma MA equal to 0. Why? Because this is the revolute joint, so the moment is 0 at the point A. Okay, so what are the forces that are having the moment effect at the point A? P is at a distance of 1. Okay, so P into 1, which is a clockwise direction, and RDY is going in the anti-clockwise direction. The perpendicular distance is how much? So RDY into 2. And what are the other forces? See, if you take the RDX, that force is passing through this point A, so that means its moment effect because of that force is 0 here. Okay, so here what happened? RDY equal to P by 2, that equal to RAY. Okay, from this equation. In the same way, okay, so here we can find out like this, and then from this how will you find out the RDX and the RAY? That is a next doubt. For example, if I apply the moment equation at the point here, then what will happen? Again you will get the RAY. Why? Because the RAX is passing through the point D. So in such a scenario you can apply the moment equation at B. Okay, if you apply the moment equation at B, only P is passing through the B and these remaining are not passing through. But because of the symmetry, what happened, even in that case everything will be cancelled out and you won't get anything. So why you want to worry, to find out the component of this RDY or RDX? Why? Because here the resultant is known. What is the resultant? See, the resultant is like this. What is the angle it is making? See, here it is 90 degrees. So this is 90, this is the theta. what is I am writing for this RD. So this will become how much? This is 90, right? So this will become 90 minus theta. Okay. So at this 90 minus theta, this is the one component and this is the another component I am writing. What is this? This is the RDX and this is the RDY. Okay. So here this is the 90 minus theta, right? So if I write the component RD into this cos term is a horizontal, sin term is a vertical. So RDS into sine of 90 minus theta is equal to RDY. Otherwise RD into cos of 90 minus theta equal to how much? RDX. Understood? And anyway here you know the RDY value and you know the theta value. From this you can now find out the RDX. Understood? Instead of going for the moment equation either at the D or B, from which you will not get any useful information, instead we will try to find out the other component of the RD, okay, from here. How I have written this, if you have any doubt, again I am writing this because this is the basic chapter engineering mechanics. Okay, we will go slow here, but next chapter onwards, like when we are dealing the strength of material or machine design or the theory of machines, we are not going to explain this much slow. For example, here how I wrote these components. See, this is the horizontal component. What is this? This is the RDX and this is the vertical component. Okay. What is this? This is the RDY and this is the RD. This is the RD. Okay. Both are joining here. Okay. And this value is how much? 90 minus theta. So for example, if you want to find out the RDY is opposite side. So which one is connecting the opposite to the hypotenuse? Okay, sine 90 minus theta and RDX is the adjacent side. So adjacent side equal to cos 90 minus theta equal to adjacent side divided by RD. That is how we got this. Understood? You observe these now itself. We are not going to deal again and again this. Okay. So that is how we will find out the RDX. We will find out from here and RDX equal to RAY. Okay, here. So far it is very good. Okay, and again after that you know the RAX and then RAX and then RAY, and I will take this junction. And at this junction I can find out the tension in the AB and as well as the AC. Once if you know the tension in the AB, okay, and even here also I know these reactionary forces and I can find out the tension in the AD and then CD. Okay, so like that we will calculate this. But in some cases, especially in the examination, some questions will be asked which are very much easy if you can understand further. What is that? The same question I will make a little bit like this. What is that? See, I will make it as a 45 degrees. Okay, I make this as a 45 degrees. Okay, so when I made this as a 45 degrees, then what happened? When it is a 45 degree, this is the normal reaction. The normal reaction is nothing but the RD, and then now this is the horizontal component RDX, and this is the vertical component RDY. Okay, and you identify here the angle in this triangle. See, this is 1 meter and this is also 1 meter. So this is a 90 degrees. So automatically what happened? This angle and this angle should be equal, because the angle opposite to the equal side should become the equal here. This is a 90 and these two are equal. That means each one is a 45 here. So this is the 45 degrees and this is also 45 degrees here. So when when this line is making 45 degree with the horizontal, and this normal is making how much angle here? The normal also making 45. Why? Because here in this triangle, if I extend this further, for example, if I extend this further, this line, okay, and then see, this is the line, right? So this is the theta, how much? 45 degrees, and here it is how much? 90 degrees. So if I extend this, how much angle it is making here? 45 degrees. That means this line is making 45, and the normal reaction also making 45. What is the meaning of that? That means the normal reaction is collinear with this particular BD. Okay, whenever the normal reaction is collinear with a particular BD, then what happens then? What is the advantage because of that? The advantage because of that is here. For example, if I take the joint D, I will take the joint D. I will take the joint D. Okay. So at the joint D, what are the forces? We need to find out. For example, see, when we are trying to pull this, what is happening? The tensile force is produced in this. So when the tensile force is produced in this is the rod. In the rod, the tensile force is applied like this, and on the junction, this is the junction, the force should be applied in the reverse direction. This is the rod. Okay, on the rod the tensile force is like this, and on the junction in the opposite direction. Understood? And if I take the dB bar, this is the dB bar. Okay, on this dB bar, okay, let's assume it is being compressed. Okay, when it is being compressed, then now on the bar the compressive force is represented like this, and on this junction how this is represented like this. Okay, and the normal reaction is like this. Okay, so here what happen if I write again? The forces, how these forces are forming. This is horizontal. What is this value? This is the FCD. Okay, and what is this value? This is the FBD. Okay, what is the angle here? 45 degrees here. And what is the angle here? This is also 45 degree. And what is this value? This value is RD here. Okay, so at this junction, okay, what is happening? The force FT is compensated with the normal reaction here. That means here FBD is becoming how much? Normal reaction at the point D. If it is neutralized by only one force, then what's about the other forces? Okay, the contribution because of the FCD is 0. Why? Because the entire force is both are collinear, right? Whenever both are collinear, then this is neutralized by this force. Okay, you no need to write the components of the RD and again equate. You no need to write that. Why? Because here what is happening? This is compensating everything. Understood? Why? Because both are collinear. Whenever two forces are collinear, at a junction, a tri-force junction. Whenever two forces are collinear at a tri-force junction like this. Tri means three forces. Two forces are collinear. Then the other force will become 0. Okay, so this is becoming 0. That means FCD is becoming 0. Understood? These type of techniques should strike in the examination immediately for you. Okay, but unfortunately if you don't have the 45 degrees here, but if there is some other angle, for example here I will give the angle as something like 30 degrees. And here also the angle should be 30 degrees. Okay, then only what happens? Sorry, if it is 30, then what happens? It will become 60, right? So both are not collinear. This line and this line is not collinear. So here it is a 60 degrees and this is the 30, so that here it will become 30. That means, with the horizontal, the line BD and as well as the RD are making the same angle. So whenever they are making the same angle, then the horizontal force at the junction is 0. Understood? You need to identify whenever you have the inclined support example. Okay, first you identify that whenever you have the inclined support example, and from that the problem will become very, very easy. Understood? Okay, otherwise, if the angle is not matching, then how we need to do? If the angle is not matching, then our usual procedure, what is that? You resolve the RD into the horizontal and vertical component, and then you apply the moment here so that you will find out, and after that, by using the angles, we can find out that. For example, here in this case, we will find out the components here. One example, okay. Here, this is the given problem. This is the given problem. Here, it is not. Height is 1 meter, or horizontal length is 1 meter. So that here it will become 45 degrees. Okay. Here it became 45 degrees, and then I gave here it is a 60 degrees. Okay, instead of 45. It is a 60 degrees, then what is the angle here? The angle that is making here is a 30 degrees. 30 degrees means here it is a 30 degrees and here it is a 60 degrees. So, what are the components? For example, RDX. What is the value of the RDX? RDX is RD into cos 30 degrees. Okay, RDY equal to RD into sin 30 degrees. Okay. These are the two components, and if you know the RD or any of these two components, then I can find out this. And here, what are the components? This is the RAX and this is the RAY. Okay. So what is the first relation? The first relation is sigma F y equal to 0 in the given system. That means here RAY plus RDY equal to P here. Horizontal forces. We will consider all the horizontal forces. Okay. And then sigma F x equal to 0. That means, here RAX equal to RDX. Okay. And after that, sigma MA equal to 0. That means P which is at a distance of 1. Okay, and then what is the vertical component? That is the RDY which is at a distance of 2 equal to 0. So RDY equal to how much? P by 2. So that RAY also will become the P by 2. Why? Because from this relation. Okay. And how will you find out the RDX and then RAX? How will you find out this? By using these relations. Okay. So RDY, what is the value of RDY? RDY is P by 2. So P by 2 equal to RD into sin 30 degrees here. Sin 30 is how much? 1 by 2. So RD will become how much? RD will become, P here. Both side 1 by 2 will go, right? So from this, I can write RD equal to P. Once if you know the RD, then how will you find out the RDX? That equal to RAX, that is a P cos 30 degrees. So that means its value is root 3 P divided by 2. Okay, this is how we need to find out the reactionary forces. Okay, and here whether the horizontal force at the point D is 0 or not, it is not 0. Why? Why? Because here the angle made by this resultant or the normal force at the point D is not collinear with this another force FBD. Here it is a 45 degrees, here it is a 30 degrees. Understood? In that case, what happened? How will you write the junction B in that case? Okay, so junction, this is the junction D, So let's assume this is the FCD, okay, and then now 45 degrees, this is the FBD. Okay, this is how much? 45 degrees. And then how much angle it is making here? Here it is making how much angle? See, with the horizontal it is a 30 degrees, so here also it is a 30 degrees. Okay, this is the angle. What is this? This is the RD. Okay, this is how we need to write, and then find out this component and as well as this component, and here the FCD is not becoming 0. Okay, this is simple problem. Unnecessarily we are spending more time. When we see some problems, then we can easily understand this. Okay.